As you're probably aware, challenge to the Zulu royal throne is playing out in court this week. At the heart of it, the late king's firstborn son, Prince Sihawukele Ngubane, argues he should be the king and not Mrs. Zulu. Now, since King Goodwill Zwelithini Kabeki Zulu died in March 2021, there have been a number of court challenges regarding the late king's wishes, but ultimately, Mrs. Zulu was put forward as the rightful heir. This was endorsed by the President of South Africa and he was crowned. But Prince Sihawukele is arguing a cultural practice endorsed him as the rightful heir. Let's find out more with our cultural expert, Professor Sihawukele Ngubane from the University of KwaZulu-Natal. Professor, thank you so much for joining us. So essentially what the Prince is arguing, his mother, Duduzile Gugulethu, she never married the king, but he is the oldest child. The Prince says that a cultural practice, ukugeniswa esiswini, took place, which somehow it seems was the great wife, which is the main wife, Queen Manfombi, almost adopting him. I wonder if you could explain exactly what this practice is and what it might explain about Prince Sihawukele's argument.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me. I think that's a custom that is common and is practiced by AmaZulu nation. The ukungenisa eswini is to implant a child into the womb of a woman. In this case, it takes place when the head of the house gets married to a wife, and before the wife can prove that she can bear children, then this practice is practiced, and the prince is right, is correct, and it's legitimate that she undertook this practice. But in this case, it appears that after the practice was conducted, the great wife, Princess Mantombi Dlamini, had 4 boys after that practice. So it nullifies the fact that Prince Sihawukele was implanted into the womb. Of course, he is the firstborn of the late king, but now that the kingship is at KwaKhangela, then Princess Mantombi got 4 boys after that, and Mrs. Zulu happens to be the first child who is the heir of KwaKhangela Mankengane, and he should be the heir of the Zulu nation, and he should be the monarch.
So you're saying that even if this cultural practice happened, it doesn't actually mean that Prince Sihawukele now has a claim to the throne, because the great wife went on to have her own children, and the sort of the royalty sits with the great wife. Okay.
Correctly.
It's very interesting.
And his mother comes from the royal kingdom of Eswatini. So in that case, the mother was also, the lobola was paid by Amakos, the Zulu chiefs paid for her lobola. So he is the heir of the Zulu nation.
You know, so there's also, in fact, there's another son of the late king, Prince Buzabazi. Now, he's the firstborn son of the king's second wife. The first wife, I understood, I think it was only daughters, or there was a son that died. So he's saying he's the first legitimate son. Would he potentially have a claim?
As far as the customary law dictates, the second wife oversees the kingship, because we call the second wife Ikhohlo. Ikhohlo cannot bear the king or the heir of the Zulu nation. So in that case, according to the culture, he is not supposed to be the heir because of that. The first wife is eligible to bear the heir, but not the second wife. And the third wife, who's called Ikati. Ikati is legitimately qualified to have an heir. And then the fourth one does not, and the fifth one can have the if there is no heir from other queens. Yeah, so that's what happens. And I don't believe that Prince Buzabazi is the firstborn KwaZulu-Natal. There are other elder brothers that are at KwaZulu-Natal.
It's a difficult one, particularly because, of course, King Goodwill Zwelithini died in March 2021. Then his wife, his widow, became the acting regent, but then tragically she died the following month. Do you think that that's what has created this perhaps area of confusion or dispute? Is that perhaps why we're seeing these disputes, or is this something that really is par for the course in the Zulu kingdom?
I don't think that will be the cause, because the truth is known. That is what I was trying to explain earlier on, that the heir will come from the first wife and the third wife. So this should not be causing a dispute, because a king is bestowed to the throne because of his mother. So his mother is well placed to bear an heir. So there should not be any conflict if the custom is being observed. Yeah. So in this case, it's not possible.
Yeah, you're sort of explaining it as if it's all absolutely simple and uncontested, but the truth is it's in court, and it seems that the late king's brother, Prince Mbonisi, who originally supported Prince Semakadi to get the throne, now supporting Prince Buzabazi, who we've just discussed. What's going on there? You know, is he relying on information that might be outdated, or he doesn't have enough information? Do you believe that there's mischief at play? I mean, what do you understand is to be going on? Because clearly there's certain members of the family who really believe they've got a legitimate claim here.
Yeah, I think this is a family affair. The royal family needs to resolve this problem, because from my side, as a person who's an outsider, I cannot say that Prince Mbonisi is wrong, he should be doing this and that. But this is a family affair that needs to be addressed by the family. But what I'm explaining is the cultural practice, which is common and is part of customary law.
Prof, I've just got to ask you, though, it all still goes through the sons. When is it going to pass through the princesses? Why can't we have a queen in her own right in terms of her lineage becoming head of the Zulus?
Yeah, that's also a debate for another day. I don't think we can drag that one here.
But I do think it's an important question for us to address and to think about.
It is very important. Yeah, it is indeed an important question.
Thank you so much for chatting to us and giving us insight. Really fascinating. Professor Sihawukele Ngubane, he's from the University of KwaZulu-Natal.